We live in an age where we are more connected than ever, yet more isolated than history has ever recorded. We have conquered the atom, mapped the stars, and built digital empires that span the globe. But in the process, we have lost the pulse of the Father. The Creator laments the digital mirage, the billions of souls wandering through a desert of glass and silicon. Searching for life in the glow of a screen, He watches as His children exchange their eternal identity for temporary likes, and their divine purpose for algorithmic validation. He self-reproaches no longer, for the neon desert has become so cold that the fire of the soul is nearly extinguished. But while the world sees a smart generation, the Creator sees a starving generation. He is not intimidated by your firewalls or your artificial intelligence. He is navigating the optical fibers of the world to find the one who is crying in the dark behind a filtered smile. Prepare to witness a divine infiltration into the heart of the modern city. The Creator is coming to prove that you cannot automate the Spirit, and you cannot digitize a Father's love. Article 1. The Ghost in the Machine. The first secret conversation takes place in the quiet glow of the midnight scroll. The Creator laments the anonymity of the crowd, the way millions of people hide their true faces behind avatars and profiles. Afraid to be known and even more afraid to be forgotten, He watches as His children build glass towers of perfection on social media, while their internal temples are crumbling into ruins. The Creator self-reproaches because the uniqueness He gave each soul is being crushed by the machine of conformity, turning a race of individuals into a sea of digital ghosts. But in the middle of the endless scroll, the Spirit is performing a sovereign interruption. The Creator is reclaiming the modern soul by glitching the algorithm. He laments the noise of the feed, but He celebrates the sudden silence. Heaven sings as a young man, surrounded by thousands of digital friends, suddenly feels a sacred loneliness that no app can cure. The Father is whispering, "I don't want your profile, I want your presence. I don't need your highlight reel, I need your wounds." He is reclaiming them by revealing the bankruptcy of the virtual. He laments the fake connection, but He rejoices as the ghost in the machine begins to yearn for a living encounter. He is proving that the screen is a mirror of vanity, but His word is a mirror of truth. When a soul realizes that being liked by the world is a poor substitute for being loved by the King, the power of the digital desert is broken. The Creator is proving that He is the only one who can fill the infinite scroll of the human heart. Article 2. The automated soul. The second conversation occurs in the high-speed pursuit of productivity. The Creator laments the mechanical man, the way the modern city has turned His living breath into a production unit. He watches as His children define their worth by their output, their efficiency, and their net worth, treating their own bodies and minds like hardware that needs upgrading. The Creator self-reproaches because the rest He designed for the human soul has been branded as laziness, and the wonder He placed in their eyes has been replaced by optimization. However, the Spirit is initiating a divine system crash. The Creator is reclaiming the modern soul by subverting the to-do list. He laments the anxiety of the hustle, but He celebrates the grace of burnout. Heaven voa when a high-powered executive or a stressed-out student reaches the end of their batteries and falls onto their knees. This is the law of holy limitation. The Father is whispering, "You are not a machine to be tuned. You are a child to be held. Your value is not in what you do, but in whose you are." He is reclaiming them by proving that artificial intelligence can never replicate divine wisdom. He laments the death of the Sabbath, but He rejoices as He leads His children back to the green pastures of His presence. He is showing them that the optimization of the self is a dead-end road, but the surrender of the self is the beginning of life. When the automated soul stops trying to function and starts trying to be, the Creator's victory is won. He is reclaiming the city by proving that the most efficient thing a human can do is to rest in the arms of their Father. Article 3. Hunger in the abundance. The third strategy the Creator is employing is the sovereign cultivation of holy dissatisfaction. For decades, the Creator has lamented the gilded cage of modern consumerism. He watches as his children surround themselves with every conceivable comfort, climate-controlled rooms, instant delivery of every desire, and a world of entertainment at their fingertips, yet they remain the most spiritually malnourished generation in history. The Creator self-reproaches, because the abundance he intended as a blessing has been turned into a distraction. A thick layer of fat around the heart that prevents it from feeling the thirst for the eternal. He laments the marketplace of the soul, where humans try to buy peace in a box and joy in a subscription. But in the middle of the feast, the Spirit is inducing a divine famine. The Creator is reclaiming the modern soul by making the bread of the world taste like ashes. He laments the saturation of the senses, but he celebrates the desperation of the satiated. Heaven sings as a man who has everything, the career, the house, the family, suddenly wakes up in the middle of the night with a void so large that no possession can fill it. The Father is whispering, "You are starving because you are eating what was meant to be used, and using what was meant to be loved. I am the only meal that satisfies." He is reclaiming them by proving that luxury is a poor substitute for liberty. He laments the comfortable grave of the middle class, but he rejoices as the hunger for more is redirected toward the hunger for him. He is showing the world that you can have everything and still have nothing if you do not have the breath of life. When the hungry child in the designer suit realizes that his soul is crying out for its maker, the power of the neon desert begins to fade. The Creator is proving that he is the only abundance that does not leave the soul empty. Article 4. The cry from the glass towers. The fourth strategy is the infiltration of the inner sanctum of power. The Creator laments the high-altitude isolation, the way the world's leaders, influencers, and architects of society have built glass towers to separate themselves from the common pain of humanity. He watches as they sit in boardrooms of steel and glass, making decisions that affect millions, while they themselves are drowning in a sea of secret sorrow. The Creator self-reproaches, because the influence he gave them has been turned into a fortress of pride, where vulnerability is seen as a weakness and admitting need is a social death sentence. However, the Spirit is performing a sovereign breach of security. The Creator is reclaiming the modern soul by meeting the high and mighty in the silence of their penthouses. He laments the cost of the crown, but he celebrates the breaking of the image. Heaven burst when a person of global stature stops looking at their net worth and starts looking for their intrinsic value. The Father is whispering through the double-paned glass, "Your tower is not high enough to reach me, but my love is deep enough to reach you. Come down from your pedestal and find your rest." He is reclaiming them by revealing the fragility of the fortress. He laments the plastic smile of the elite, but he rejoices in the authentic tear. He is proving that no amount of security can guard a heart against the divine invitation. He is showing the world that the ones at the top are often the most desperate for a touch from the bottom. When a leader realizes that their power is an illusion but the Father's kingdom is an eternal reality, the glass tower becomes a house of prayer. The Creator is proving that he is the only supreme authority, and that the highest seat at any table belongs to the one who kneels before the king. Article 5. The algorithmic prison. The fifth strategy the Creator is employing is the sovereign liberation of the curated mind. For the first time in history, the Creator laments the predatory architecture of the algorithm, the way human attention has been harvested and sold like a digital crop. He watches as his children are fed a constant stream of confirmation bias, trapped in echo chambers designed to trigger their anger, satisfy their vanity, and paralyze their will. The Creator self-reproaches, because the free will he gave as a sacred gift is being surrendered to lines of code that dictate what a person sees, what they fear, and what they believe. He laments the death of the original thought, where the soul no longer seeks truth, but merely clicks on the next recommended lie. But in the heart of the digital trap, the spirit is performing a divine system override. The creator is reclaiming the modern soul by inducing a holy boredom and a sacred disgust with the digital feed. He laments the dopamine slavery, but he celebrates the awakening of the seeker. Heaven sings as a soul, exhausted by the noise of the algorithm, suddenly feels a pull towards something it cannot find in a search engine. The Father is whispering through the notifications. Your identity is not a data point. Your destiny is not a trend. Step out of the simulation and meet the one who programmed the stars. He is reclaiming them by proving that the algorithm can predict your habits, but it can never predict grace. He laments the calculated life, but he rejoices as the random encounter with the spirit shatters the digital loop. He is showing the world that the only way to be truly original is to be found in the one who created the origin. When a person deletes the app but finds the altar, the prison doors swing open. The creator is proving that he is the only architect of truth, and that the human will was never meant to be a slave to a machine, but a partner to the spirit. Article 6. The death of the Sabbath. The sixth strategy is the supernatural restoration of the sacred pause. The creator laments the 24/7 inferno, the modern city that never sleeps, never prays, and never stops. He watches as his children burn their lives away in the cult of busy, believing that their worth is tied to their availability and their uptime. The creator self-reproaches because the Sabbath, the rhythmic breath of creation, has been discarded as an ancient relic, replaced by a high-speed fatigue that leaves the soul too tired to love and too frantic to hear. He laments the anxiety of the always-on, where the human spirit is treated like a battery to be drained rather than a garden to be tended. However, the spirit is initiating a divine blackout. The creator is reclaiming the modern soul by stopping the clock. He laments the productivity idol, but he celebrates the grace of stillness. Heaven vo'oa, when a frantic professional or a stressed student finally hits a wall of exhaustion that forces them into the silence of his presence. This is the law of the holy stop. The Father is whispering into the roar of the city. The world will not fall apart if you close your eyes. I am the one holding the universe together, not you. Come and find the rest that your bed cannot give you. He is reclaiming them by proving that rest is not a luxury, but a weapon of warfare against the world's chaos. He laments the burnout generation, but he rejoices as he leads them back to the still waters of a life lived in his timing. He is showing the world that the most productive thing a human can do is to sit at the feet of the Father and realize that the work is already finished. When the death of the Sabbath is replaced by the life of the presence, the soul finally stops running and starts arriving. The creator is proving that he is the only true rest, and that the city's neon lights are a poor substitute for the light of the morning star. Article 7. The subversion of virtual love. The seventh strategy the creator is employing is the sovereign restoration of the human touch. For decades, the creator has lamented the digitalization of the heart, the way the profound mystery of love has been reduced to a swipe, a pixel, and a transaction. He watches as his children search for intimacy in the cold glow of a screen, trading the covenant of the soul for the convenience of the app. The creator self-reproaches because the sacred mirror of relationship, designed to reflect his own sacrificial love, has been shattered into 1,000 filtered illusions, leaving a generation that is highly connected but deeply unloved. He laments the pornography of connection, where the body is consumed as an image but the soul is never met in the light. But in the middle of the shallow sea of modern dating and virtual shadows, the spirit is performing a divine subversion of desire. The creator is reclaiming the modern soul by inducing a holy nausea with the superficial. He laments the hookup culture, but he celebrates the return of the yearning. Heaven sings as a soul, tired of the infinite options that lead to infinite loneliness, suddenly begins to crave a love that is ancient, raw, and real. The Father is whispering through the loneliness. You were not made to be a profile to be judged. You were made to be a beloved to be known. Stop searching for an image and start seeking the source. He is reclaiming them by proving that virtual intimacy is a mirage of water in a parched desert. He laments the fear of commitment, but he rejoices as he leads his children back to the risk of the real. He is showing the world that the only way to find yourself is to lose yourself in a love that does not depend on a like. When a soul stops looking for the one and starts looking for the one who is love, the power of the virtual desert is broken. The Creator is proving that He is the only ultimate intimacy, and that the human heart was designed for a weight of glory that no digital connection can sustain. Article 8. The Cry of the Burnout. The eighth strategy is the sanctification of the system crash. The Creator laments the cult of the high achiever, the modern city that demands constant evolution, endless energy, and a perfection that only machines can simulate. He watches as his children push their bodies and spirits past the red line of their design, fueled by caffeine, ambition, and the terror of falling behind. The Creator self-reproaches because the grace He intended as a safety net has been discarded for a works-based salvation that has moved from the church house to the corporate house. He laments the quiet despair of the high performer, who has won the world but is losing their pulse of joy. However, the Spirit is initiating a sovereign collapse. The Creator is reclaiming the modern soul by honoring the burnout. He laments the pain of the breakdown, but he celebrates the grace of the ending. Heaven, vo'oa, when a frantic leader, a stressed student, or a tired parent finally hits the floor and can no longer pretend to be okay. This is the law of holy fragility. The Father is whispering into the wreckage of the career and the exhaustion of the mind. I did not love you for what you could build. I loved you before you did a single thing. Now that you have nothing left to give, you finally have everything to receive. He is reclaiming them by proving that system failure is often the only door to system transformation. He laments the fatigue of the hustle, but he rejoices as he replaces drive with dwell. He is showing the world that the most successful moment of a life is the moment it admits its need. When the burnout becomes an altar, the Creator's victory is complete. He is reclaiming the city by proving that the power of God is perfected not in our efficiency, but in our weakness. The cry of the burnout is not a sign of defeat, it is the signal of a rescue that has finally arrived. The Creator is proving that He is the only infinite resource, and that the ending was actually the beginning of the true life. Article 9. The subversion of the influencer. The ninth strategy the Creator is employing is the sovereign deconstruction of the digital idol. For a decade, the Creator has lamented the cult of the influencer, the way millions have traded their private integrity for public visibility. He watches as his children live their lives through a lens, performing for a faceless audience, and measuring their worth by the reach of their voice rather than the depth of their character. The Creator self-reproaches because the influence He intended for the salt and light of the earth has been hijacked by a marketplace of vanity, where being seen is more important than being holy. He laments the exhaustion of the spotlight, where the soul becomes a hollow shell, terrified that one wrong post or a dip in the numbers will lead to digital death. But in the middle of the clamor for attention, the Spirit is performing a divine subversion of authority. The Creator is reclaiming the modern soul by calling them into hiddenness. He laments the noise of the famous, but he celebrates the power of the anonymous. Heaven sings as an influencer, tired of the performance, deletes the app to find the altar. The Father is whispering behind the ring light, you were not made to be watched, you were made to be known. Stop trying to move the masses and let me move your heart in the secret place. He is reclaiming them by proving that true authority is born in the shadow of the Most High, not in the glow of the screen. He laments the fragile ego, but he rejoices as he raises up a generation of hidden prophets, those whose names the world doesn't know, but whose prayers the heavens obey. When a soul realizes that hiddenness with God is a greater promotion than stardom with men, The power of the neon desert is broken. The Creator is proving that the greatest influence is the one that leads people not to a profile, but to the person of Christ. Article 10. The sovereign restoration of the home. The 10th and final strategy is the sovereign infiltration of the modern cell. The Creator laments the isolation of the apartment, the way the modern city has stacked human beings on top of each other in glass boxes, yet left them more alone than a hermit in a cave. He watches as his children retreat into their high-rise fortresses, locking the world out but locking the loneliness in. The Creator self-reproaches because the home, which he designed to be a sanctuary of community, has become a bunker of self-preservation. He laments the silence of the hallways, where neighbors are strangers and the only presence felt is the hum of the air conditioner and the blue light of the television. However, the Spirit is initiating a sovereign occupation of the living room. The Creator is reclaiming the modern soul by crashing the isolation. He laments the solitary exile, but he celebrates the sudden visitation. Heaven, Vo'oa, when a lonely individual, sitting in a cold, modern apartment, suddenly feels a warmth that has no physical source. This is the law of the eternal dwelling. The Father is whispering through the concrete walls. You are not alone in this room. I have bypassed your security systems to sit with you. This apartment is no longer your prison, it is my temple. He is reclaiming them by proving that community begins with the companionship of the Spirit. He laments the architectural loneliness, but he rejoices as he turns bachelor pads and studio apartments into houses of bread. He is showing the world that the Father does not need a cathedral to dwell. He only needs a door that is no longer bolted against his love. When the presence fills the apartment, the city's power to isolate is shattered. The Creator is proving that he is the only true home, and that the neon desert has finally found its river of life. The exile is over. The Father has moved in. The lights of the city are bright, but they are cold. We have journeyed through the neon desert, witnessing a Creator who refuses to let the age of silicon swallow the souls of his children. He has bypassed the algorithms, crashed the boardrooms, and entered the lonely apartments to prove one thing: you are more than a data point. The silence of the machine is being broken by the pulse of the Father. The isolation of the high-rise is being shattered by the presence of the Son. The silent covenant has reached the heart of the modern world. You don't have to run anymore. You don't have to perform. The King has entered the room, and he is calling you by your real name. The desert is blooming. The Father is home.